All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to call to order the commissioner meeting for Tuesday, October 22nd, 2024, it being 1:04 p.m. I would like to ask that you join me in a moment of silent prayer. I would ask that you join me in standing in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Executive session announcement.
I'm out of breath. I'm just going to warn you. Okay, on 10/9, approximately 10 a.m., 3 commissioners, the chief clerk, were discussing one open position. On 10/10 at 9 a.m., 3 commissioners, the chief clerk, representatives from PennDOT, had a meeting regarding acquiring land. On 10/10, approximately 10 a.m., 3 commissioners, the chief clerk, were also discussing regarding acquiring land. And then at 11 a.m., 3 commissioners, the chief clerk, HR director, and facilities director were discussing one personnel issue. At 10:10 at 1 p.m., approximately 3 commissioners, chief clerk, HR director, HR analyst, and finance director were discussing bargaining one CBA. At 2:30 on 10:10, 3 commissioners, chief clerk, HR director, HR analyst, and highway director regarding one personnel issue. And on 10/17, approximately 12:30, 3 commissioners, chief clerk, HR director, HR analyst were discussing contract negotiations. That's all.
So if someone says we don't do anything, that proves you wrong. Call for public comment. Hearing none. Commissioner's comment.
Today, I'd like to provide an update on some numbers related to the upcoming election. Yesterday was the final day to register to vote on November 5th. As of noon today, the elections office has processed 15,042 applications for mail-in ballots. They have received 10,120 ballots back already. The deadline to ask for a mail-in or absentee ballot is October 29th at 5 p.m. They do stay open an hour late per statute to accept those applications. And we also were told that we have an increase in total registered voters in Blair County since the primary of 3,671 people. So that many people additional able to vote November 5th here. And I also did want to say, because we got a question from a member of the public about the outer envelopes for mail-in ballots. The area for the stamp is sort of a rectangle instead of a square, and so they asked us to verify whether they need 2 stamps, and you can mail your ballot with only 1 stamp. 1 stamp is sufficient, always has been, always will be, and I actually believe the post office will deliver even if it doesn't have postage on it. So,
Thank you.
Good morning, or good afternoon, everybody. It was a long morning. It's good to see all the students here. We'll be talking with you in just a minute, but some of you are probably 18, and we hope that you've been looking into the election and learning about the different candidates, and that you will participate and vote and be responsible voters in America. Thanks.
Okay, we're going to read a proclamation. October 23rd through the 31st, 2024 is Red Ribbon Week. Whereas alcohol and substance abuse in the nation have reached epidemic stages, and whereas substance abuse is particularly damaging to one of our most valuable resources, our children, and a contributing factor in the 3 leading causes of death for teenagers: accidents, homicides, and suicides. Whereas it is imperative that visible, unified preventative education efforts by community members be launched to eliminate the demand for drugs And whereas the National Red Ribbon Campaign offers citizens the opportunity to demonstrate their commitment to drug-free lifestyles, no use of illegal drugs, and no illegal use of legal drugs. And whereas the National Red Ribbon Campaign will be celebrated across America during Red Ribbon Week, October 20 through 31st, 2024, and whereas business, government, parents, law enforcement, media, medical institutions, religious institutions, schools, senior citizens, service organizations, and youth will demonstrate their commitment to healthy, drug-free lifestyles by wearing and displaying red ribbons during this week-long campaign. And whereas the community of Blair County, PA, further supports the efforts of the Red Ribbon Campaign. Now, therefore, it be resolved, the Commissioners of the County of Blair and the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania do hereby proclaim October 20 through the 31st as Red Ribbon Week and encourage its citizens to participate in drug prevention education activities, not only during Red Ribbon Week, but all year long, making a visible statement that we are strongly committed to drug-free Blair County. I'll offer this in the form of a motion.
I will second that.
All in favor? Aye. And would you like a picture
Or to say anything.
or to say anything?
Good afternoon. My name is Natalie Foster, and I'm the president of the Hollidaysburg Area Senior High School SAD Club. Behind me are the rest of the SAD Club members as well as our advisor. Red Ribbon Week gives SAD the opportunity to encourage our student body to live a drug-free life. In an effort to raise awareness for Red Ribbon Week's messages, our club has instituted theme days, including Team Up Against Drugs, in which we will wear jerseys on Monday, Say Boo to Drugs on Tuesday, where the students will wear Halloween costumes, Be a Hero and Be Drug-Free, where we will wear superhero shirts on Wednesday, and we will wear college attire for Education is the Key to Being Drug-Free on Thursday. As well as the theme days, we will also be promoting voluntary drug screening throughout the week for all of the students. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yep.
Yes. Is your advisor Mr. Rollins?
Yeah.
It is, okay. Lindsay's a little.
Oh my God. Just better do my taxes, huh?
If you would be so kind to run us through the consent agenda.
Sure. Resolution 475-2024 are the warrant lists in items A and B. Ratification of total payroll for the paycheck dated 10/18/24 was $873,503.31. They are the budget transfers in items D, E, and F. Items G through H, and the employments, resignations, and terminations of I through K.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda. May I have a second?
I'll second that.
Comments or questions? All those in favor? Aye.
I am an aye with abstention to payments to Blair Senior Services and Borough of Hollidaysburg.
So noted. Blair Senior Services. Afternoon.
Good afternoon. We are requesting approval of the 23-24 driver retention and hiring bonuses in the amount of $123,856. This was part of the COVID plans back when the pandemic really hit. Public transit lost a lot of drivers, and this was part of the plan. It's a two-part payment. This is the second and final payment for all public drivers.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the driver retention and hiring bonus received from Pennsylvania Department of Human Services in a total amount of $123,856. May I have a second?
Second.
Any comments or questions? Hearing none. All those in favor? Aye.
I am abstention on that.
Thank you very much.
Yep, thank you. One abstention, yeah. Facilities Highway.
Good afternoon.
Paul?
5 on the agenda today. The first one's requesting approval of the contract between the County of Blair and Clark Contracting, Inc. for the replacement of the Fort Roberto White Oak Hall Pavilion roof at a total cost of $104,984.70.
I'll make a motion to approve the contract between the County of Blair and the Clark Contracting for the replacement of the roof at Fort Roberto White Hall Pavilion at the cost listed. May I have a second?
Second.
Any comments or questions?
Would just comment, this was something that was a topic of budget discussions, I think, a couple years in a row, so it's nice to see it finally happen.
It is, and much needed. All those in favor? Aye.
Okay, the second one, requesting approval of a change order in the contract between the County of Blair and David M. Maines Associates, Inc. Resolution 401-2024 for the added purchase of the EcoStar? That's correct? Okay, slate material, glacier guard, and copper flat sheets in the additional amount of $58,458 and a total project cost of $781,319.
I'll make a motion to approve the change order between the County of Blair and David M. Maines Associate for the additional sheets for the roof replacement of the numbers listed. May I have a second?
Second.
Any comments or questions?
I just have a comment. We've been working on this project for quite some time, and it's good to see it coming to a resolution just like White Oak Hall. But the neat thing about this one is that the contracted price has come down, and with the additional amount of the remaining extra materials we use, we kind of lucked out on that, didn't we? So I'm happy to see this moving forward, preserving the buildings that we have.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Third one, requesting approval to submit a request for a street closure permit to the Hollidaysburg Borough to close Union Street from Mulberry Street to Allegheny Street from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. on November the 2nd, 2024 for maintenance of the Blair County parking garage.
I'll make a motion for the street closing permit for Hollidaysburg Borough for the streets listed and the times listed on November 2nd for maintenance of the Blair County parking garage. May I have a second?
Second.
Any comments or questions? Hearing none. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, fourth one, requesting approval of the quote between the County of Blair and Paul Cornell's auto body repair for the repairs of the Blair County Children and Youth Vehicle Number 24 in a total amount of $1,170.
I'll make a motion to approve the quote between the County of Blair and Paul Carnell's auto body for the repair of the county vehicle in the amount listed. May I have a second?
Second.
Any comments or questions? Hearing none. All those in favor? Aye.
Okay, last one, requesting approval of a proposal of service between the County of Blair and Keller Engineering, Inc. for design and construction service for the rehab of the Blair County parking garage in the total estimate amount $104,400.
I'll reluctantly make a motion to approve the proposal of the services between Blair County and Keller Engineers for the design and construction for the rehabilitation of the Blair County parking garage in the amount listed. May I have a second?
Second.
Comments or questions? Hearing none. All those in favor? Aye. Thank you. Children and youth.
Hello.
Hello.
All right, we're requesting approval of the fiscal year 24-25 purchase of service renewal agreement and HIPAA Business Associate Agreement between the County of Blair, Blair County Children, Youth, and Families, and Adelphi Village.
I'll make a motion to approve the purchase service renewal agreement, HIPAA Business Associate Agreement between the County and Blair and the Adelphi Village. May I have a second?
Second.
Comments or questions? All those in favor? Aye.
All right, we're requesting approval of the fiscal year 24-25 agreement for payment of legal services between the County of Blair, Blair County Children, Youth, and Families, and Finelli Willett Law Offices for the period of July 1st, 24 through June 30th, 25, at the rate of $2,100 a month for guardian ad litem services and a fee of $200 for the as-needed preparation of a power of attorney.
I'll make a motion to approve the agreement of payment of legal service between the County of Blair and the Finelli Willett Law Offices for July 1st, 2024 through and including June 30th, 2025 at the rates indicated. May I have a second?
Second.
Comments or questions?
I just have a question. I know we went back and forth with this. This one is the one with the actual LLC, is that correct?
I think that's item 3. Are we on item 2?
We are on item 2.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm looking, yeah, okay, it is on the next one.
Okay.
Okay.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Can I go back to item 1 for a second? I was just looking at the insurance, and it looks like, can you maybe check what you sent for the packet and update? Because it looks like this is just their workers' comp.
Oh, the whole
So, We
insurance?
only got 1 page. Yeah.
Okay, I'll have Brooke send that over.
Okay, thank you. There's a blank page, so it might have been flipped
Okay,
when they scanned. Sorry.
no problem. All right, and then lastly, we're requesting approval of the fiscal year 24-25 agreement for payment of legal services between the County of Blair, Blair County Children, Youth, and Families, and Roll Law Offices. That should be LLC. Is that what you're saying, Amy?
I believe that's correct.
Okay. For the period of July 1st, 24 through June 30th, 25, at the rate of $2,100 a month for guardian ad litem services and a fee of $200 for the as-needed preparation of a power of attorney.
I'll make a motion to approve the agreement of payment of legal service between the County of Blair and the Rouse Law Offices for the period of July 1st, 2024 through and including June 30th, 2025 at the rates indicated. May I have a second?
Second.
Comments or questions? All those in favor? Aye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Aye.
Hi, you ready?
Yep.
We'll get going here. So first, we're going to authorize, requesting approval of resolution redesignating the appointment of the Section 504 officer and adoption of the grievance procedure for fiscal year 2024 CDBG program. Section 504 program, like I said, that's a requirement for the federal funds. Your Section 504 officer has some duties. We have to do a self-evaluation, those types of things. And again, those are for discrimination based on disabilities. Any questions?
I'll make a motion to approve the adoption of the 2024 Community Development Block Grant grievance procedure and authorization to redesignate Blair County Chief Clerk as a Section 504 officer. May I have a second?
Second?
Comments or questions? All those in favor? Aye.
That's just the one thing that I can't do because somebody could complain about me. The second item is requesting approval of our fiscal year 2024 Fair Housing Resolution. The Fair Housing Resolution, again, CDBG funds fiscal year for 2024 are from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, so fair housing makes sense. So every time we adopt our application, we must also adopt our fair housing agreement resolution, and all of the other 5 entitlement communities did as well.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the year 2024 Fair Housing Resolution. May I have a second?
Second?
Comments or questions? All those in favor? Aye.
Item number 3 is requesting approval of the cooperative agreements between the County of Blair and the 5 entitlement municipalities. That would be Annis Township, Blair Township, Frankstown Township, Hollidaysburg Borough, and Tyrone Borough, to submit the application and administer the fiscal year 2024 Community Development Block Grant on their behalf. And again, I think I provided all 5 entitlements have signed their agreements.
I'll make a motion to approve the cooperation agreement between the County of Blair and the 5 entitlement municipalities for 2024, the Community Block Grant. May I have a second?
Second.
Comments or questions? All those in favor? Aye. Do you need water?
No.
Okay.
As I said, so the cooperative agreement says who does what and who's responsible for what. Item number 4, we're requesting approval for the submission of our federal fiscal year 2024 CDBG application to the Pennsylvania Department of Community and Economic Development on behalf of the 17 non-entitlement communities. This is the allocation that the county receives on behalf of those 17 municipalities. An amount of $246,836. And those were the projects that you guys selected a few weeks ago. We've held a public hearing, the second public hearing, and presented them and received no comments. So you are ready to adopt your portion of the contract.
I'll make a motion to approve the submission of the 2024 Community Development Block Grant on behalf of the 17 non-entitlement communities in Blair County in the amount listed. May I have a second?
Second.
I just have one question. What is the difference between an entitled
Sure.
municipality and a non-entitlement?
Sure, absolutely. So the non-entitlements typically, for general purposes, are the smaller municipalities, under 4,000 population, with the exception of Allegheny Township. Allegheny Township, because of some UDAG designation back from the 70s, they're not eligible to be an entitlement. So typically, it means 4,000 population or less for a non-entitlement. If you're an entitlement community, you have a population of 4,000 or more. That means that you get an allocation based on when the state gets their funding from the feds. There's a formula set at the Commonwealth level that says boroughs and townships get X per population, or a base amount, then based on your population, if there's any money left over, then you get, so it's a whole formula. So the county receives those municipalities that are not entitlements, which there are 17. And like I said a year or so ago, Greenfield, I kind of toggle between Greenfield. Greenfield was an entitlement up until 2022. So they are now in our non-entitlement. So the county, so they would just go under the umbrella of our non-entitlement allocation. So when we receive a contract from DCED, our CDBG contract, it is one contract, but it has 6 allocations in it. 1 allocation for the non-entitlement communities. And again, when I search for and solicit projects at the beginning of the year, when I kick this off, I have to solicit all those 17 municipalities. So yes, $246 does not go very far with between 17 municipalities, if you think about it that way. And then just to throw in, So the city of Altoona is a HUD direct receives. So everybody in all the municipalities in Blair County receive CDBG funds. It's just how you receive it. So the city receives theirs direct from HUD. And then Logan Township, because they have 10,000 or more, gets a contract on their own. So Cassandra does get a contract, but yet it's just not under the umbrella of the county because they have 10,000, population of 10,000 or more, and they can administer on their own behalf.
All right, thank you.
Is that a lot? Yeah.
Can I ask
Yeah.
one more question?
Yep.
You said Allegheny Township, what was that acronym, UDAG?
The UDAG, or the UDAG.
What does that stand
Yeah. It is the urban and rural has something to do with the rural and urban development designation.
I also just wanted to say I like the map with the arrows. That's helping me with my Blair County geography of where all these places
Yeah,
are.
Greenfield's not on there. We need to update that.
Okay, any other comments or questions? Hearing none. All those in favor? Aye. Keep going.
Did that help explain a little bit
Yes, it
better?
does.
Yeah, it is a little confusing. So last and not least, we are requesting approval of the submission of the combined fiscal year 2024 CDBG application to the Pennsylvania Department of Community and Economic Development on behalf of the 17 non-entitlement communities and 5 entitlement communities, what we call combined, in the amount of $819,587.
I'll make a motion to approve the submission of the combined 2024 Community Development Block Grant between Pennsylvania Community and Economic Development on behalf of the 17 non-entitlement communities and 5 entitlement communities in the amount listed. May I have a second? Any comments or questions? All those in favor? Aye. Okay,
Good? All
thank
right, thanks.
Tag team, I like it.
Okay, good afternoon. I'm requesting approval of 11 fiscal year 24-25 contract renewal agreements between the County of Blair and the agencies listed on the agenda. The funding source for all these allocations come from the Human Services Block Grant, and they are divided between Mental Health, Human Service Development Fund, and the Housing Assistance Program.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the 24-25 contract renewal agreements between the County of Blair and the agencies listed below in the amounts listed below. May I have a second?
Second.
Comments or questions? All those in favor? Aye. All right, thank you. Chris?
Oh, who is this?
Can I just interrupt one moment? I'm sorry. On the number 5 that Trina presented, we missed this second. Was that Amy or Laura?
It was Amy.
It was Amy.
I don't-
And we did do a vote?
I think we voted. I just don't remember.
We
the-
did.
who
Yeah,
seconded.
I wrote down that it was Amy.
Okay.
I just wanted to make sure we didn't miss it. Okay. So Trina's good. Sorry.
Ready?
Yeah.
Hello. I'm requesting approval of the federal fiscal year 24-25 Hazardous Materials Response Fund, or HMRF grant agreement between the County of Blair and the Pennsylvania Emergency Management Agency in the amount of $12,481 to support the normal operating activities of the Local Emergency Planning Committee, or LEPC, and the county's Hazardous Materials Response Fund for the period of July 1st, 2024 through June 30th, 2025. This helps offset things for the hazmat team, like their physicals and the workers' comp policy, fuel for our response vehicles, the billing for our chemical facilities and things like that.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the 24-25 Hazardous Materials Response Fund grant between the County of Blair and the Pennsylvania Emergency Management Agency in the amount listed from July 1st, 2024 through and including June 30th, 2025. May I have a second?
Second.
Any comments or questions? All those in favor? Aye.
Thank you. I'm also requesting approval of the federal fiscal year 2024 Emergency Management Performance Grant Agreement, which is our EMPG, in a total amount of $61,966 for the period of performance of October 1st, 2023 through September 30th of 2024.
Make a motion to approve the emergency management performance grant agreement in the amount listed for the dates listed. May I have a second?
Second.
Any comments or questions? All those in favor? Aye.
And both of those require you guys to go into the ESA.
Yes. Yes, they've been harassing us.
Thank you.
Sue?
Good afternoon. Requesting approval of our contract between the County of Blair on behalf of the Department of Emergency Services and Compros, Inc. For equipment and services as required for maintenance at the tower sites with the contracted labor rate of $150 an hour during regular specific hours and $225 an hour for all other, plus parts and subcontracted services billed accordingly for the period of September 10th, 2024 through September 9th, 2025.
I'll make a motion to approve the contract between the County of Blair and Compro Inc. For the services required maintenance on the tower sites at the rates listed from the period of September 10th, 2024 through and including September 9th, 2025. May I have a second?
Second.
Any comments or questions? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Next one, requesting approval for payment of the invoice made outside of the county purchasing policy received from Bedford County 911 for the Southern Alleghenies 911 Cooperative CAD redundant server cost sharing in the amount of $53,239.16 as outlined below in the agenda.
I make a motion to approve for the payment of invoices made outside the county purchasing policy received from Bedford County 911 and Southern Alleghenies 911 Cooperative CAD redundant server cost sharing in the amount listed. May I have a second?
Second.
Any comments or questions?
I have a question. Made outside the county purchasing policy. What do you mean by that?
Well, it was done through the co-op, through the 5 counties that share the services, so that it was done through that grant agreement that we have for the CAD.
But it was a part of that agreement,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay, that's where I was getting confused. I'm thinking, what would? All right. Thank you.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Next one, requesting approval for payment of the invoice made outside of the county purchasing policy received from Center County 911 for the Southern Alleghenies 911 Cooperative CAD cost sharing in the amount of $11,593.27 as outlined below. This is going to be the same thing.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the payment of invoices received from Center County 911, Southern Alleghenies 911 Cooperative in the CAD system. May I have a second?
Second.
The only thing I'd say is I don't know that it's outside of our purchasing
I'm not
policy.
sure why it had to be worded that way.
Usually it means there wasn't a requisition or PO placed before something was signed committing us to pay for it.
Okay. All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So number 4 covers 5 and 6, requesting approval of the rescinded resolution 200-2024 and 201-2024. The first would be the approval of the first amendment to the technical service agreement between the County of Blair and Zito Media Communications LLC for Zeta Business to provide voice service for the 911 center to extend expiration date of 8/25/2023 to 4/30/2024 at a monthly reoccurring cost of $818 plus additional fees.
Okay, so we're requesting the approval to rescind the first, right, the First Amendment to Technical Services Agreement Number 3 between the County of Blair and Zito Media Communications LLC to provide voice services for the 911 E Center to extend the expiration date from 8/25/23 to 4/30/24 at the monthly reoccurring costs listed. May I have a second?
I think that we need to deal with letter IV, the rescission of the two first,
Isn't it due on the
because when we
5 and
rescind,
6?
well,
We can't,
oh, they're related, yeah.
5 and 6 are going to replace
They're going to replace
the ones we're
the
rescinding.
ones that were rescinded.
Okay.
It's confusing.
all right, it is confusing. All right, so we'll make a motion to, I'm going to rescind that and make a motion to request the approval to rescind resolutions 200 and 2024 and 201 2024. Now I see. May I have a second?
Second.
Any comments or questions? All those in favor? Aye. Now I get it. Okay.
So now you gotta do 5.
Requesting, make a motion to approve the First Amendment between the Technical Services Agreement Number 3, County of Blair and Zito Media Communications LLC, Zito Businesses to provide voice service for the 911 E-Center to extend the expiration dates listed at the amount listed. May I have a second?
Second.
Any comments or questions? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Last but not least, requesting approval of technical services agreement number 4 between the County of Blair and Zito Media Communications LLC, Zito Business, to provide voice service for the 911 E-Center for the period of May 1st, 2024 through April 30th, 2025 at a monthly recurring cost of $615.60 plus additional fees.
We'll make a motion to approve the Technical Services Agreement Number 4 between the County of Blair and Zito Media Communications 911 E-Center for the dates and the amounts listed. May I have a second?
Second.
Any comments or questions? All those in favor? Aye. These are tough ones today. Okay.
Thank you.
Seems like there's a lot to
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so.
Good afternoon. I'm requesting approval of 2 judicial sale title search / bring down service agreements to include after-hour access between the County of Blair and, should be Raymond J. Wendiker Law Offices and Bruning Abstracting. These are to conduct the title searches for the judicial sale and the bring downs from the upset sale that need to be completed by December 27th of this year.
I'll make a motion to approve the 2 judicial sale title search bring down service agreements between Raymond Wendecker Law Offices and Bruning Abstracting for the dates listed. May I have a second?
Second?
Any comments or questions?
I know we've done a bunch of these, a first batch, and these are additions. Do you think you have enough people to cover everything now?
I do. We have a total of 125 title searches and 12 bring downs that need to be completed. So I think this should be sufficient to have them done in time.
Okay.
Because they can do them online too, as well. Although that's more expensive, but.
It's based on the fees from the resolution of 2023.
Any other comments or questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thanks. Robin?
I am requesting approval of the contract between the County of Blair and the Infocon Harris Corporation for Infocon Laserfish document interface setup for a one-time fee of $2,100 and the Infocon Laserfish document interface monthly maintenance and support in the amount of $150 per month for a period of 36 months following the implementation of the program. This will be paid from my reserve fund at no cost to the county.
I'll make a motion to approve the contract between the County of Blair, Infocon Harris for the Laserfish document interface setup at the fee listed and the interface monthly maintenance and support at the fees listed for 36 months following the implementation. May I have a second?
Second.
Any comments or questions? All those in favor? Aye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm here for Fort Roberdeau requesting approval of the memorandum of understanding between the County of Blair on behalf of Fort Roberdeau and the Retired Seniors and Volunteers Program of Blair and Huntington Counties, sponsored by the Center for Community Action, outlining the basic provisions of the working relationship between the RSVP project and the County of Blair on behalf of Fort Roberdeau at no cost to the county for the period of October 5th, 2024 through October 5th, 2027.
I'll make a motion to approve the memorandum of understanding between the County of Blair on behalf of Fort Roberdeau and the Retired Seniors and Volunteers Program for October 5th, 2024 through and including October 5th, 2027. May I have a second?
Second.
Any comments or questions? Hearing none. All those in favor? Aye.
Thank you.
Afternoon.
Afternoon. I'm here to request approval for the contract agreement between the County of Blair, Court of Common Pleas of Blair County Domestic Relations Section, and Rules Law Offices LLC to provide legal services to assist in the establishment and enforcement of support orders for the period of August 19th, 2024 through September 30, 2025 at the rate of $160 per hour.
I'll make a motion to approve the contract between the County of Blair Court of Common Pleas and the Blair County Domestic Relations Section and the Rawls Law Offices to provide legal services to assist in the establishment and enforcement of support orders for the period of August 19, 2024 through and including September 30th, 2025 at the rate listed. May I have a second?
Second?
When we put down here enforcement and orders of the periods, what specifically does that mean?
Attorney Rolls is our staff attorney. He helps with the mostly out of county and out of state, county and out of state support orders.
Okay. All right, thank you.
And I think that this one isn't he supposed to be as an individual, not his law office?
I
Because I thought the one was to be his law office, the one that we approved earlier.
I
And
think
then
they
this one.
were both supposed to be his law office.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. That's okay then, that works. I just want to make sure we don't have him and he can't be an employee in too many places. That's
Right. So he's an independent contractor
So
for
it's
both of
okay.
the ones that were on the agenda.
Thank you.
Any other comments or questions? Hearing none. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm requesting approval for the contract agreement between the County of Blair and Weisberg Kramer LLC for legal counseling services and assisting with the 2025 assessment issues for the period of January 1, 25 through December 30th, 25 at the rate of $165 per hour.
I'll make a motion to approve the contract between the Weisberg Kramer LLC for legal counseling services in assisting with the 2025 assessment issues for the period of January 1st, 2025 through and including December 30th, 2025 at the rate listed. May I have a second?
Second?
Any comments or questions? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
And Lindsay.
Right. Requesting approval of an agreement between the county and Maximus U.S. Services for the preparation of the county's 2024, 25, 26, and 27 cost allocation plans in the total amount of $52,000 at $13,000 per year. We received another quote from Susquehanna. Their total price was $59,000. So switching back to Maximus, because we used to be with them before, will save us $7,000 over the life of the contract. And just for everyone's benefit, this will be, the cost allocation plan will be producing revenue in 2025 of $773,244. So we do recoup about 15 times the cost of this plan.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the agreement between Blair County and Maximus U.S. Services Incorporated for the preparation of the county's 24, 25, 26, and 27 cost allocation plans in the amount listed. May I have a second?
Second.
Any comments or questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The coroner had asked me to present, and I delegated that to Dawn. So Dawn is
All
here.
right.
Hi.
Your dual roles.
They don't sell a Coroner Benton costume at Spirit, so I'm appearing as myself. Good afternoon. So as you know, the coroner has a new office building that he's moving into there. Of course, that new building needs to have both phone service as well as internet service. So what I have for you today is a quote, first for the physical equipment and the phone services, and that's with Masters Telecom. You can see the costs there. There's both upfront fees for the initial purchase of the equipment as well as the monthly fees there. As far as how that stacks up with BreezeLine service that they have today, it's a cost savings with both items number 1 and 2. We'll save about half of what we currently pay BreezeLine switching to this Masters Telecom with Verizon services. We did do an evaluation of 3 different options. One option, unfortunately, just wasn't going to work. Verizon doesn't offer the product anymore. We also evaluated Crow's Nest as well as Verizon. Of course, the immediate upfront, it's cheaper to go with the Verizon option that you have here, as well as over 5 years. It's a cheaper option to go with Verizon, but we did evaluate Crow's Nest as well. So that's what I have for you first on number 1 there.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the quote between the County of Blair on behalf of the Blair County Coroner's Office and Masters Telecom for the phones and analog telephone adapter at the rates listed. May I have a second?
Second.
Any comments or questions? Hearing none. All those in favor? Aye.
Thank you. On number 2 here, so you just approved the purchase of the physical equipment as well as the phone service, but we need the broadband service that will actually deliver the lines needed for item number 1. So this is basically a 5G cellular connection through Verizon dedicated to the office there. And again, if we add the costs up with the first item, it's still a savings to the county of about half of what we pay BreezeLine today for his office in Altoona.
We like to hear that. Make a motion to approve the quote between the County of Blair on behalf of Blair County Coroner's Office and Verizon for the fax services and wireless mobile broadband unlimited internet connection for the amount listed. May I have a second?
Second.
Any comments or questions? All those in favor? Aye.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Ray / Dawn.
Okay, for N1 and 2, this is really just a clarification on a DEP grant. On May 14th of 2024, resolution number 2030-2024 was approved as a 904 County Recycling Coordinator grant. It actually should have been designated as the 903 grant for the amount of $31,227.49. This is really just a clarification because DEP does have a 903 grant and a 904 grant, so they are separate. This is for reimbursement of half the salary and benefits. It's a pass-through grant for the IRC coordinator for 2022. And then item 2 is basically the same thing, but it was resolution number 231-2024. This is for his 2023 salary and benefits for the amount of $35,898. So the county is the pass-through from DEP. So we just needed to clarify these grant numbers since they are 2 separate grants that identify 2 different programs.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the resolution identified as the 904 Recycling Coordinator Program Grant and should have been designated as a 903 for the amount listed. All other parts of the resolution were correct. May I have a second?
Second.
Any comments or questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
I'll make another motion to approve the May 14, 2024 resolution that was approved and identified as a 904 County Recycling Coordinator Program grant and should have been designated as a 903 grant for the amount listed. All other parts of the resolution were correct. May I have a second?
Second.
Comments or questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. No old business. I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Next Board of Commissioners meeting will be held Tuesday, October 29th at 1 p.m. Thank you for the marathon session today.